For the latest installment of my all-access digital art series called My Facebook Profile Picture, I selected a classic. It's a picture of the 3-year-old me with a blue Sesame Street lunchbox, very, very tightly curled bangs, and a pink ruffled dress that made finger painting and sandbox play incredibly cumbersome. Thank you, Mom. But the most important part of that picture is what's behind me. It's a background so familiar that fellow 1996 graduate Lillian Forsythe wrote to me, "Cute picture," and I know those doors. Those immense, bright, bold red doors served as our gateway to opportunity and challenge, allowing us to enter what can only be described as the single most magical and invigorating educational adventure any of us have encountered to date. And the older I got, the more I came to realize that there was absolutely nothing typical about the New City experience. At first, it was peculiar to me. I mean, why aren't all my friends doing poverty simulations and building polyhedrons? But as time marched on, the exceptional power of the New City way was no longer lost on me. Now I can offer you all of the platitudes, only made so because everyone in this room already knows how remarkable a place this is. I can tell you that in the midst of all of the wonder and delight lies a foundation of academic rigor and experiential learning that prepares minds to approach every future test with an absolute spirit of excellence. As a result, by the time we finished high school, New City kids were already leaders in intellectual outlets, political and social justice endeavors, athletics, theater, and the fine arts. My New City colleagues are now teaching English in Vietnam, attending Duke Medical School, are fellow Teach for America alum, and are starting their own businesses. And all of them will tell you that the underpinning for these pursuits lies behind those big red doors. So awesome is the New City model that in my own 3rd grade classroom in Southeast Washington, D.C., my benchmark of success for my students was but a replica of New City's prototype. You see, by distance, Martin Luther King Jr. Elementary School sits just 4 miles from the White House. But the bridge that separates the two, well, that ensures that my kids don't have anything closely akin to a big red door education. But my personal measure of their achievement came not from their NCLB data or their standardized test scores, but from a progress report modeled after New City's. My students' confidence grew when I embraced them as whole people with multiple talents and complexities. I was constantly asking myself, what was I learning at 8? How was I learning it? And how was I being challenged to learn more and learn better? It was the answers to those questions that helped my students, who entered my class an average of 1.4 years behind, grow an average of 1.7 years in reading, and gain an 80% mastery of 3rd grade math standards in my first year of teaching. But you see, New City taught me that. New City taught me how to do that. I can remind you that New City is an international model of quality and distinction in education. From Harvard Square to our nation's capital, courses in educational studies continually hold New City a highly esteemed exemplar. While earning my master's, I was thrilled to raise my hand and proclaim to my professor that I had attended the very school she spoke of. And as I watched her listen with pure fascination as I described our 6th grade world religions unit, I could not help but well up with pride and utter thankfulness to have enjoyed such richness. And at the helm of our ship are leaders so magnanimous that people can travel the globe to see their work, but they still embrace each student, past and present, with the same joy and great expectation they did the day we first arrived. Most of all, I can report that New City's emphasis on diversity and empathy is unparalleled. You know, a quick glance at the school website says it best. At New City, it says, our students cultivate a sense of self and their place in the world, which gives them the confidence to resist the temptation to define themselves through others. What a marvelous concept, that in the midst of your growth, you are allowed the opportunity to be exactly, unapologetically who you are. And what's more is that being given this freedom to be who you are teaches you that respecting your neighbor's choice to be who they are is not an option, but an obligation. But it's about more than just accepting others. Rarely is there a group of children who year after year after year are not only eager to learn about people so varied from their own, but are the first to fight to uphold someone else's right to make their place in the world. New City kids don't just do great things. They do great things with the plight of others in mind. And so you see, there are a whole host of reasons why life at New City is so utterly powerful. But after the speech making is over and words no longer suffice, that castle on that street with those big red doors, that's home. And it's not home just because that's the place where we got our start. It's home because it's the place where we want to gather and reminisce with family on the marvelous days gone by and yet to come. It's home because every chance we get, we want to take our friends there to show them this incredible place where we grew up. It's home because everyone remembers you and remembers what made you special. It's home because the people there will stand along the wall of a church at your father's funeral when there are no seats left. Pick your little brother up and carry him to a movie just because he's having a hard day. And send you a handwritten card every single year on the anniversary of your dad's death, just to let you know that someone is thinking of you. It's home because every single memory of you holds you accountable. Every single memory of it holds you accountable to making sure that every place you step is left better because you were there. And so, on our 40th birthday, I came home. And if I can do my small part to make sure that my DC kids can have a place like New City to call home, then I will have done something worthy. Worthy of our founders, worthy of my teachers and my classmates, worthy of my multiple intelligences, worthy of entering those big red doors. Thank you.